Aloha, it is Sia with Black Petal Gardening, and I am back for our third update. This one being the terracotta colored green stock. And we are going to take a look and see what there is to see. Now, this is another one where we had a decent number of items that we attempted to start from seed and did not have a lot of success. Some things were fine, but for the most part, things that we had starts, either we purchased the starts or we actually seed started them and then planted them. Those, as a general rule, did much better and are still with us in the stock. But let's get started here. We've got our cilantro, which is definitely bolted and is starting to seed out. I don't know that I really want seeds all over the place, but we also don't have a use for it yet because the peppers that Scott uses for his salsa are not really ready. So we did take one bunch out that was in, we're panning in our tomato and pepper bed. We had a cilantro in there. We cut that and it is currently hanging from our back porch to dry out. So here we've got a yellow bell pepper looking lovely. That makes me happy. I do hope these continue to grow nice and strong and get beyond, this size. In a previous video I mentioned I've had some difficulty growing bell peppers. They tend to either not grow. I get flowers and like really tiny nubs, and then it doesn't go beyond that. Or they will size up a little bit, but never to, a decent slicing size, something that is fairly useful for cooking and stuff like that. Here we've got a shishito, got a lot of little flowers on here. We did really well with our shishito last year that I put in the Greenstalk. So that was one plant that we had planned to do both raised bed and Greenstalk from the beginning. Here is our spoon tomato, and look at that. We have got some teeny tiny tomatoes. So cute. So as you can see, lots of vigor here. It's doing really well. And actually, we're probably going to need to put some of those supports on this level to give it a little bit to lean on. Even though the plant itself is not super thick and big, it is growing quite vigorously at this point. So I think that'll be helpful. We've got our sweet banana pepper. We did have one of these that we put in the Greenstalk last year, and it did pretty well. So I was happy to do that again. And then we've got the mammoth jalapeno, some beautiful flowers here, and got some pepper growth right down there. Moving to the next level, we've got this amethyst improved basil. This has been off and on looking weird. So, if you look here, this looks really dry, but if you go down, another inch or so, the soil is actually pretty moist. It's not like wet, but it, it's wet enough that I don't want to risk overwatering. And so I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Here we've got a dwarf tomato. So far, no flowers on this yet, but it's looking very healthy. So that's wonderful. And yet another reason to get some more support in here. Our parsley is just parsleying all over the place. So it seems to be quite happy to be in the Greenstalk. And then we've got this hot and spicy oregano, which seems to be doing a-okay. Finally, we've gotten some growth on our Space Master cucumber. Again, this is going to need some support, so we'll be getting that put in place in just a little bit. I'm hoping, because this one's not looking quite as great as I would like. I'm hoping it bounces back. Looks like we have a little bit of new growth over here, but this looks like it'd be really, really pretty. And I want to say that it might be similar to our flowers way over there. I'm going to try to do a zoom. There we go. So if it does end up looking like that bottom one, I'll be very excited to have that burst of color in here. We've got our calendula. This we did start from seed this year. California Wonder Peppers finally started to germinate, so it'll be interesting to see how those go along. So Kitchen King Garden Bean, we do have a little growth down here, so very, very slow. Again, the top of the soil looks really dry, but as you pull some of it away, it's darker. But I don't know. I don't know what the issue has been with that. Here's some Thai basil. It's looking very healthy, much better than the purpley one. And then we've got this lotus red, which is a flower. I'm hoping that it's gonna do something awesome. And some dill that is definitely going to seed. This we did start inside. And then I'll pop down here to the next row, and here is another one of our spoon tomatoes, even more vigorous than the one on top, I would say, but it hasn't gotten to the point where it is putting out any tomatoes just yet. So I'm gonna try and very carefully, if I can. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna let me. I might have to sacrifice some leaves. There we go. Try and pull this up so it has more support. There we go. And actually, it may just be for the better of the plant for me to trim this a bit, because it is a little bit all over the place. Okay. Now then we've got our other calendula. This is one that we started from seed in the Greenstalk last fall. It put out a few flowers before winter came. It overwintered, and when it was time to kind of do the Greenstalk refresh, I kept it, and it has been kind of a powerhouse, for the very early portion of the growing season, especially as far as flowers are concerned. So nice to see. I purchased this lamium, and it was already decent. Oops, there we go. Maybe help if you can see it. Already kind of decent sized, but is definitely taken off. And we're starting to get some of the pretty pink flowers that are shown in the little tag. And these leaves, they just have that beautiful silvery color. So I think once those flowers bloom, that combination is just going to be lovely. We've got our Walla Walla onions. These seem to be like the most healthy of the onions that we planted in. What on earth is that? Is that like a baby centipede? Ugh, I hate those things. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. So apparently, I'm also going to be pouring some of that nematode stuff in there, just in case that is a bad thing. We've got some French fillet beans. Now, we did try and start actually a couple of French fillet beans in this one from seed. They did not take. So I bought some starts at the store. And we had some cut and come again zinnias that were starting to do something, but something has happened to them, so they are full of not living, and that is another pocket we are going to need to fill. All right, coming down to the bottom here. On the other hand, our Bright Lights Cosmos are coming up, so that's exciting. We've got a Poblano pepper, which hopefully doesn't get overshadowed too much by this spoon tomato. Another French fillet bean. Another California Wonder Pepper that finally has decided to germinate and grow. Some dill. That's, thinking about its life. And then last but not least, some more Blue Lake bush beans, which we do have a bunch in the strawberry and bean Greenstalk. But honestly, I was looking for stuff that could fill the pockets, and this was available, so that's why I purchased that. All right, so that is where things stand for our orange or terracotta Greenstalk. Things are coming along, looking quite healthy for the most part, so that's very exciting. With that, I am going to say once again, have a great evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.